Well, good morning and welcome to Zen Fits here on, what day is it? I don't know. Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? I lose track of time. Okay. I was just, I never know how this is going to come out in the morning, my Zen Fits. And so I was just writing a little piece, kind of like a pickup or a follow-up on yesterday's talk, which was about a pattern. Are you a pattern, a wave? Or are you a particle? Quantum physics, are you a wave? Or are you a particle, a little thing? Or both? One or the other, or both? So we've been looking at this, and I was inspired by yesterday's talk by finishing Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. And so this morning, the title of this talk is, Are You Zorba or Fred and Ginger? Now, Zorba, I'm reading Zorba the Greek, the book now. I've watched the movie many times. He's been kind of like my movie guru from the early 60s when I first saw the movie. I think it came out 63 or 64. And so it's always been that music, that dance of Zorba, that joyous participation in life, participation in the suffering, joyous participation in the tragedy when all your plans and all your steps and all your expectations collapse. You dance. You dance. So that's the dance. Then I've also been attracted to Fred and Ginger and the perfection of the ballroom dance. So I remembered this morning when I started writing was that when I got married in 1960, 2020, would you believe? It's easy to remember how many years I've been married now. Let's see, 40, 20, 60. I can't believe it. But I remember before I got married, I took lessons at a Fred Astaire dance studio in Norfolk, Virginia. I was in the Navy. I couldn't dance. So I took dance lessons. And I got confidence. And my wife was a very good dancer. So we could dance together and we could put on a little, show. We'd do the Lindy or something and do the thing, and we could make a little space for ourselves, because we were pretty good. And I was confident when I had dance steps. I was confident when I had a pattern to follow, when I had somebody to dance with. But dancing alone was terrifying. I just couldn't do it. And so this morning I got to thinking about why is it that I couldn't dance alone? Well, when you dance alone, you're spotlight. You're the center of attention. People are looking at you. And when we're aware of people looking at us and we get stage fright, that's what stage fright is. It's the fear of what other people are thinking about you. You're exposed, you're embarrassed. You have no props, you have no steps, you have no plan. You're just out there. Deer in the headlight. It's almost like the eye. This is interesting about eyes, because when we're spontaneous, when we're free, when we're Zorba, there's only one eye. You're one eye. But when we're dancing alone, there's two eyes. There's one eye, I'm looking around, I'm dancing, but then there's the other eye of people looking at me. What do they think? I bet they think I'm stupid. I look foolish. I don't know what to do. I'm insecure, you see. I'm exposed. I'm frightened. But that's my eye. So what we do, you see, is we take my one eye and give it out there and give it to the other, the person out there. And they're looking at me through my eyes. So I'm looking at myself through them, and I paralyze, you see. Why? Because I've divided myself. I've divided myself. I've taken my eyes. I got one eye. I'm at the center of me. So when I open these talks and I say, you're at the center of the world, that means you're one eye. I is the center. I'm looking around as the center everywhere I go. It's like the world is a plate and I'm at the center. In a 360 degrees world, you see, but I'm at the center. The unmovable center, you see. That's my I. I'm the unmovable point. Religion gives that definition to God. God is the center of the world. Well, no, yes, but you are. You're a single eye. But when we split the eye, we throw it out there, and I'm looking at myself through your eye, you see, and now I'm exposed. Now it's the Garden of Eden. Now I'm ashamed. What am I doing out here alone? How dare you come out alone and stand? Who do you think you are? Jesus Christ, you see? What are you doing there alone? How dare you break from the herd? How dare you break from the dance steps? How dare you dance alone? You're supposed to be with a couple. You're supposed to be with your wife. You're supposed to be doing the dance step that everybody's doing. It's a ballroom dance, you see. It's a great dance, but it's all programmed. How dare you break free from that and dance alone? Who do you think you are, you see? That was the third temptation of Buddha, by the way, when Mara, metaphor for the devil or the mind, questioned the Buddha sitting there under the Bodhi tree. You know, who do you think you are dancing alone here? And the Buddha pointed to the ground. He said, my authority is the earth, you see. I have a right to be here. So anyway, I got to writing about this morning, and it was a beautiful thing because I could see my whole life. Is this question, am I Zorba? Can I dance alone, spontaneously, free? Or do I dance in a program? Or do I dance in a dance? Or you want to dance the foxtrot or the waltz or the lindy, or the rumba, you know, all these dance steps you see. You get to choose one. You get to choose, you're free to choose, but you got to choose one of the steps. You can't create your own steps. You can't dance alone. No, you see. So that's kind of like the whole story of our life, isn't it? We all dance with couples. We all dance a step. We dance a program to my society, to my religion, to my family. We're all programmed to these dance steps. Politics, religion, everything's a program. Everything's a dance step. And others are dancing it, so we get in with that dance. And but to dance like Zorba, with no steps, to dance like Zorba, you know, alone, spontaneously, whoa, that's a different story. And we usually do this one or the other. See, we can choose to dance like, you know, suppose we're in with a couple. Suppose you're married and you feel like, you know, I really want to. I'm just doing a pattern here. I'm just stuck in a pattern. I want to be free. So what do? We change partners. And we get, oh, well, I'm pretty free now, you know, but then it becomes a pattern again. So we go from one pattern to another under the idea that we're free. But life is a pattern. This is the whole point. Everything's in a pattern. There is no such thing as a can of soup standing, unless you're Andy Warhol, there's no such thing as a can of soup standing by itself in the cosmos. You know, the can of soup's in a pattern of soup cans. You see, everything's in a pattern. All form moves in a pattern. Molecules, atoms, everything. Everything's a wave, you see. And yet that's one, but then if we look at it from another point of view, it's a particle. That's the puzzle of quantum physics. Is the electron, is the atom a wave, not located in space, a wave? Or is it a particle located in space? Boom, 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 you see. Which is it? So the wave, you see, would be the pattern, and the particle would be alone. So this is our question. You know, how do you dance alone while you're in a pattern? How are you spontaneous while dancing in a pattern? That was the question of Jesus. You know, are you in the world or of it? How do you make the law your will? That's the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, you see. What's that prayer about? Well, you see, heaven would be spontaneous, earth would be a pattern. How do I be spontaneous in a pattern? How is the Lord's will my will? You can't make it happen. You can't will to be spontaneous. You can't try to be spontaneous. How do you dance? How do you become Zorba and participate in life spontaneously, joyously, even when you stumble, you see? Or do you take refuge in a pattern? That is the question. That is the question of Zen. And there's no path to that. It has to be discovered. But you have to want to discover it. You have to be curious. You have to want to, with all your heart, with your all your heart and mind, you want to crack this puzzle. You want to cut this Gordian knot. You want to be free. While you're in a pattern, you can't escape the pattern. But if we think you do, well then you haven't cut the knot yet. Anyway, thanks for dropping in on this Zen Fit this morning.